What up? What up?
What's up, y'all? Welcome into another episode of Swish Masters Podcast. I'm your co-host, QtheGuru.
What up? It's your boy Zay, the executive producer here. What's happening, Q? We back at it.
We're back. We just finished watching Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The result was the Denver Nuggets won 109-94, and it wasn't that close. Just to be honest. You had to figure that Mike Malone was going to get this team in order after what happened last time, right? The team played with the lack of effort, and that was the main message that was being sent out the whole time. And the Denver Nuggets definitely came out with it. The stats tell the tale. I don't know what the ending rebounding stat was, but the rebounding stats were atrocious. That's where I'm gonna start the conversation off. So yeah, Denver had a total of 58 rebounds, 58 to Miami's 33, and the discrepancy was even larger than that. Miami had a little run towards the end, but they kept grabbing some offensive rebounds, but it was really, really bad. And rebounding is a stat about effort to me, and the Denver Nuggets showed that. Now you did have some amazing, unexpected performances from Chris Brown or Braun, how you want to pronounce it, but it's Brown.
Yeah, Brown. Yeah.
That was very surprising, and the appearance of both Murray and Jokic getting triple doubles here. And the key thing about Jokic, he had 30 and 20. And they show the stats tonight. The most in playoff history to have at least a 30-20 stat like that. That is amazing. Jokic is playing like Jokic does. Zay, what happened to the Heat tonight, man?
A key point you touched on already was the rebounding effort. Like you said, rebounding is a key stat when you want to win a basketball game. And there's effort. And obviously we know Murray went for 34. Jokic went for 32. But he also had 21 rebounds. Murray almost had a triple-double. I think he was like a rebound short or something like that.
He got it at the very end of the game.
Oh. Well, yeah. We got torched for 2 triple-doubles. And one guy had 20 rebounds and 30 points. That is horrendous. And obviously they had help with Caleb Brown off the bench. He was a spark. And the thing I saw that was different for the Nuggets tonight, there's a time, when you slow things down and try to analyze, but they came out with a sense of urgency, not just effort. Every time, even as I was able to look at each quarter differently. Like the first quarter, they came out with a sense of urgency. They came out looking to get buckets. They were looking to get into their offense and get into the basket, which they did a lot. But the Heat were able to match that in the first quarter. And that's what had the game close for the majority of the first half. In the second quarter, they came back there. They decided to not let up the punches. And I feel like the Heat just kind of not deflated, but they didn't match the intensity. They didn't match that urgency. So of course, Jokic is just insane. He's not only can he hit any shot from anywhere, but he can get to where he wants to and get the rebound and be able to set his other guys up, which is too much. If you let him have this type of night, you completely have blown the chance to even give yourself a chance to win the game. And that's what happened tonight. There were plays where, the Heat just kind of looked like, all right, we're in the game, but the Nuggets were like, we're going to keep punching. We're not going to fall back and try to counter. We're gonna punch and punch and punch, and the Heat did not. There was a play where I'm saying like Jamal Murray shoots a jump shot, and it was Jimmy Butler. I'm like, Jimmy guards him to the point. All right, he missed the shot, but he turned around to run down the court, and the ball's still live. Murray goes get the rebound, and we can't give up that type of possession, especially from the top, like from our leader. And I know that he had a decent game, but that's not going to get it done if we can't get rebounds, if we can't get defensive stops. And that's what happened tonight. They were able to take advantage of just lackluster effort, and they were the more urgent team. We have to play with the Heat have to play with a bigger sense of urgency to be able to win games, especially when Murray is looking to be aggressive after his last game. He didn't play so well. We knew Jokic was going to do Jokic things, but we can't let him get 30, 20, and 10. If he gets that, you've shot yourself in the foot, basically. So that is pretty much the telltale of the game. There were some positives to take away from the Heat, but honestly, it's what Coach Spo says. Short-term memory, forget about it. You got to get a next game mentality, because tonight was terrible on the defensive end. You got to have the effort, just like Mike Malone told his squad. He said in the one of the breaks, I remember that he was saying, we've lost the last 2 fourth quarters. We have to win tonight. We win this when we win the game, and they did. So you have to close the game. You have to play with intensity and have a sense of urgency throughout the game. And they played a little too relaxed for me tonight. So shout out to the Nuggets. Shout out to Jokic for setting, another record, making history. But if you're a Heat fan, obviously you don't want that happening against our team. So
there's a lot of things to talk about with this game. We hit on a lot of it. We talked about defensive effort from the Heat. We talked about the rebounding and just overall lack of effort from the Heat and not matching that intensity that Denver was showing. Yeah. It also shows up in like how they scored. Like, for example, the Heat actually shot 35 threes. The Nuggets only shot 18.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of tells you the story. And because of that, Denver had more free throw attempts. Because they're actually trying to get into the paint. That it's like how you play. And don't get me wrong. During the regular season, Miami was not a good perimeter shooting team. Am I right about that? But in the postseason, it's like, y'all are great from three. I mean, I get it. It's working. But tonight, it just wasn't happening. For example, this is the first time Gabe Vincent had this type of game in this playoff series. Only 7 points. Mm-hmm. He's been consistently giving you at least 15 to 20. But this is the first time we get something from him. Max Strus went back, just 3 points. That's it. 3 points from Max Strus. I don't really expect a lot of scoring from Kevin Love, but the lack of rebounding though, two rebounds. That's not going to get it done. And Caleb Martin had 10, but Kyle Lowry, it's Robinson. I mean, it's tough. So let's talk about some things that he can do for game 4 at this point. So one thing you have to think about, what's the health of Kyle Lowry? He took a nasty little slip towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter. It didn't look good. It looked like he was in pain. But this could lead us to what we see Tyler Hero in this next game. Depending on the rotation, like if the Kyle Lowry needs to be out, you're gonna kind of have to put Hero in. I mean, I do like Highsmith, but you still need something else. Kyle Lowry pushes the pace for you, the playmaking ability, and you lose some of that. I think Caleb Martin can do some of those things, but it's like, and I would feel more confident if I had Tyler Hero on the floor too. Just his shot creation and his shot making, which the Heat really could have used tonight. You know. So maybe we'll see Tyler Hero. That's something to question. And I'm gonna ask you this: what can the Heat do defensively for Game 4?
Box out. Box out. That's the biggest thing. I'm honestly I hate that Kyle got hurt. I hope he's okay. I hope he's able to recover and get some rest, be able to, and it's not like a significant injury, I hope. But I really don't know what the status of Tyler Hero is. Still
all
recovering
reports
from
it's looking good. What I've been hearing, like he's been doing contact drills and he's been looking good. So
for sure.
I'm not sure what I mean, because you guys won Game 2, it kind of gives you give them the extra day of rest or whatever. But now, considering the circumstances, now you don't currently have home court advantage anymore. Kyle Lowry's health could be in jeopardy. You probably want to go ahead and put Tyler Hero into the game if he's healthy now. As long as he's healthy, he can play. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that would be a big help, but he's been out for majority of the playoffs. I'm just under the assumption, the guys that we're probably going to be without him at least for the next foreseeable game, being Game 4, and from there, really, I'm not really mad at offensively. I feel like if we don't make the mistakes on the defensive side of the ball, that we are in this game. Besides the free throws, they shot probably 7 to 8 more free throws than we did. And obviously,
free throw spare wasn't huge, but still.
It wasn't huge, and we shot 31%, which was higher than they did from the 3.
True, but overall field goal percentage was terrible though.
Yeah,
37%. That's not going to work. And the Nuggets shot 51%. That also kind of tells you something right there too.
Yeah. So the main thing I feel like is going back to the game plan of make Jokic be the scorer, but also cut off Jamal Murray. Cut off Murray. I think we did. Obviously, Porter Jr. hasn't been a big offensive contributor for them in the series so far, which is good. Gordon started. He had some impactful shots this game. Then Caleb Brown came off the bench with great energy. Our guys have to match that energy, and really it's about just limiting the other guys. Jokic, it's kind of hard to say, but it's Jokic does not miss a lot of shots. When I'm looking at it, I'm all right, 1 foot fadeaway, touch shot in the paint, 3-ball. He scoop layup. I'm bro, this dude just can't miss. So if he's doing that and he's getting 10 assists, that is terrible. We are not going to give ourselves a chance with him having that type of scoring night and he's getting everybody else involved. Yeah, if we're gonna let Jokic score, or we're not gonna let him score, obviously, but make him be he has to drop 70 points to beat us, because we're gonna cut off the other guys. Cut off Murray. I like that we were trapping, but it just in the second half, he figured it out. Jokic was able to get other guys involved, and still, we can't let the other guy. We have to cut off the others. If that's the best thing you can do in this situation, because Jokic has shown that he can just go and get buckets. So if we get 30 from Jokic, but we limit Jamal Murray to 15 or less, and the other guys 10 or less, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about that defensive effort, man. That's what I think is the key. The offense will come, and like I said, just like the first game, Max didn't score. Gabe had 3 or 4 fouls by halftime or the beginning of the third quarter. One of those fouls where I was all right, that's just questionable, but all right, cool, ref. So that was kind of an anomaly that I feel like doesn't repeat itself unless they just go and forget how to shoot the basketball completely. I feel like the offensive side is, and Jimmy had a decent game too. Bam was decent. He just needed help on the boards. He had 17 boards, 22 points, but the rest of our guys, like after that, like Jimmy had 2 rebounds, Kevin Love had 2 rebounds, and that's our power forward. You know what I mean? Like we got to get on the boards. We got to help Bam because he's also the defensive guy who's guarding Jokic. He's switching on Murray. He's switching on the other. That's a lot, and he's getting all the boards. Just help him on the boards at the very minimum, and then give effort because our defense was not terrible in the first half, but they just kind of figured it out. So we have to do a good job of adjusting, which I know Spo and Jimmy and everybody else they're gonna do.
Man, all those are good points. And shout out to the Nuggets though. Shout out to them, to Murray and Jokic for actually playing those high minutes. Personally, if you're Nuggets, the only thing you need to do to adjust, honestly, rest up Jokic and Murray as much as you can, because unlike the other games, you only have one day in between. I am worried. I picked the Nuggets, by the way. I'm worried that this fatigue is going to show up in this game. I'm predicting both of them are not going to have good nights on Friday. One of them is just going to be too fatigued. That's my prediction right now. I do not foresee both of them having these super high games like this. It could be Jokic. I don't know. It could be Murray, but not both of them. It's the fact that both of them went off. Basically took over the game tonight. And the contribution of Brown. That was the main difference too. Because when we think about it, all the others didn't really have good games. Like KCP, he only had 6 points.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, he only had 11. He didn't give you 15. And Michael Porter, only 2 points. Like the others didn't really. It was mostly just Murray, Jokic, and Brown. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just a defense, man. If like, for example, like lost by 15. Imagine you had those 15 points by Brown.
Exactly.
Right there. So like,
exactly. Yeah.
Just a defense showing up on defensive side, and that's the main adjustment for the Heat. Were they switching a lot? Like, how was Murray able to go off like that?
Honestly,
I know you figured out the trap.
He figured out the trap, or at least he figured out how to make a play out of it. And by the way, welcome in Jay Wright, welcome in Jacoby Gilmore. Shout out to y'all for joining in. I think for the most part, if he was able to get his shot off, even like the step back to I feel like I was watching him and I'm like, all right, he likes to go right and get that little step back jump or that little pull up jumper, or he can get all the way to the rim with a floater or whatever. Like, if he's going right, he's pretty dangerous. But I noticed, like, for a slight second when we pushed him left in the trap, he kind of struggled. But tonight he just was able to get to that right side, get to that little step back pull up, and he was knocking it down. He was aggressive, of course, because he knew, like, last game he didn't play well.
Right.
But for the most part, his athletic ability allows him to be able to kind of elevate quickly. I do think that if we do try to trap, if we get him on the left side, force him like baseline, that could make it a little more troublesome for him. But the thing is, this is what happened. Like, all right, they're trapping Murray, all right, getting the ball out of his hands, but who does he go to? Jokic. And where's Jokic? In the middle of the floor. And what's Jokic got? Like 360 vision. So he's like dishing. Which obviously, like, Porter Jr. and KCP didn't have great games, but he was getting to the basket. So it's like, all right, you got to pick the poison in this situation and force Murray left. But tonight, Jamal was just like, if he was able to get to the right side, he was most of the time scoring.
It's a good analysis right there. So Pretty sure. Hopefully, Spo picked that up too. Try to get Jamal
I'm sure
going
he
left. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
All day for the Nuggets. If the Nuggets want to try to win, like I said, try to rest up Jokic and Murray as much as possible. Because I'm probably gonna have to play some high minutes again and try to pull out another win. If anyone else shows up, that'd be great. But you gotta have Jokic playing at a high level and Murray at a high level to try to win on the road. And for the Heat, and the others have to step up. And is it fair for me to say that I'm expecting even more Jimmy Butler? Because even though he played decent in these types of games, I'm still expecting a little bit more. For example, there were some matchups that Jimmy had where I'm like, okay, go. Like, for example, like Brown should not be able to, like, if Jimmy sees Brown on him, all right, barbecue chicken. I'm not talking about Bruce Brown. I'm talking about the other one, the one that had 15 tonight. Like, if I see him barbecue chicken, okay, I need to go in. Not look. Jimmy just hesitates sometimes, man. I need him to go ahead and just stay aggressive, and good things happens when he's aggressive. Like, have him touch the ball and just do his thing. That's my thing for Jimmy. Is that fair? Am I being like too hard on Jimmy? Or all right, I don't want to seem unfair, but that's just my. You're clearly the franchise player of the team. You and Bam. Bam had it. He had as greatest game that he's normally did these past two games. He had 22 and 17, but still.
For like the first time in a long time, it's more so I have to get on Jimmy than Bam. Like, Bam is doing what he's for the most part supposed to do. He's being aggressive because the offense kind of works with him to be able to make plays or go get a basket. Jimmy, on the other hand, he was a little bit more aggressive tonight. He scored a little bit more, but he hasn't been that, all right, I'm going to take over the game single-handedly. And maybe that's like fatigue. Maybe that's his ankle. He had the ankle injury in New York, but we haven't had like that type of Jimmy explosion for the most part. And I'm hoping that we see that eventually. Even tonight, like, there were some matchups where I'm like, okay, he caught his rhythm a little bit, going to the basket, getting his turnaround jumper. But I feel like Jimmy's so good at making plays for the guys. I know he trusts the guys, but he needs to impose his will a little bit to just kind of like, not even because he needs to like score 40, score 50, whatever. If he does, I feel like that really puts us in a good position. But at the same time, I know that he's going to make the right play every time. But I feel like he should, at least in some moments of the game, in some stretches, all right, this is all Jimmy time. This is all Jimmy buckets. And every time I'm going to go to the rim with two hands, I'm trying to dunk on somebody every time. Just to put the fear in the Nuggets defense, to be able to like get them to shift a little bit. Like, every time if Jimmy goes down, let's say he gets couple of possessions back to back, he goes to the hoop 3 times in a row, and you know, he's trying to get right to the rim, get a shot up, get a layup, get a dunk, whatever. He does it like consecutively, like 3 times in a row, and he drives again. I feel like the defense, especially if he's getting the shots that he wants, the defense is going to be like, all right, we got to pick up, we got to help, so Jimmy can't get to the basket easy. So then it kind of opens things up for everybody else, because now you're like, all right, Jimmy's in takeover time, but really he can be either a scorer or a distraction. And now we can get into our offense. Like, he had a couple passes out to Kevin, and Kevin was able to knock 3 down here, knock 3 down there. But he, you know, I feel like if he is just hunting for shots a little bit more, it always puts us in a better position. Always puts the Heat, other guys, in position to be able to have an easier shot. And I'm like Max Strus, for example, benefits so much from Jimmy's penetration and then getting an open corner 3, especially the first couple of games. Like, all right, the Nuggets were not like awake on defense. and now they kind of are aware of things. But now Jimmy, if he shifts a little bit, does that type of, all right, I'm gonna take over for a second, and then the defense kind of soaks into him, it's gonna be a problem because they can't leave 4 guys out on the perimeter outside of like Bam, and if you leave Bam open, we can just lob it up to him, or he's able to knock down the mid range. Like it's good that Bam is. I want Bam to continue being aggressive, but Jimmy has to be even more aggressive now. It's kind of funny to say that because I'm like, for the longest I was like, Bam has to like take shots. He has to, if he's getting to that free throw line, he has to take it. And how he is, but we need Jimmy to be the aggressive one, even more so than usual.
Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, all those great points, man. I'm not even sure I should even mention this too, but all right. So, did you hear what Skip Bayless said? Skip Bayless.
Nah.
Okay, so he was kind of criticized for this. He kind of put it out there in the stratosphere some private news about Jimmy.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Remember this. Yeah.
Okay. He was kind of criticized for that. I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not. Either way, it's something definitely private though. But like, if that turns out that is true, I take back everything I said. You know what I'm saying? Because that's tough to deal with, like something going on that's a private issue while playing a game of basketball. So again, I don't even want to say it because I don't even know it's true. I don't even want to put that out there. But like, if y'all interested, you can look it up yourself or watch the clip. But that could be, but I'm not sure.
Yes. I'm not sure. I haven't really researched that.
I mean, that's what I was doing too. There's no official news about that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful with stuff like that. Reporting.
It makes me it's like the Andrew Wiggins situation. People speculate.
Exactly.
They say this and a rumor goes out. It's nothing at all like that.
Right.
So I don't know what that situation is. So I'll wait to, get the official news from trustworthy source.
Yeah, more trustworthy source for real.
Just saying.
Same. So with that though, we talked about what the Heat and the Nuggets need to do. I can see the Heat winning this game. I can. I still stick with Nuggets in 5, sure. But if the Heat win this game, I'm gonna have to change my pick. I'll unfortunately have to change it. So we'll see though. We'll see what happens.
I also can see the Heat winning the next game.
Of course you did.
Surprise.
You kind of have to.
For sure.
Kind of have to.
Yeah.
Oh man. So y'all leave us your comments and thoughts about the game. Who you think is gonna win the next game? And stay tuned to follow us and we'll react to the next one. There is literally so much news that came out during this game. During this game, by the way. It's so much to react to, y'all. Like, we'll get into what we can. If y'all still want to rock with us, we'll talk about some stuff. But this is very interesting, bro. I say we start with the most recent news that came out, bro. CP3 was waived by the Suns. CP3 is a free agent, and he's not retiring.
Oh, man, that's... Shoot.
So...
This is insane.
Swish fans, basketball fans.
Oh,
where
bro.
do you ideally want to see CP3? He is not retiring again, and he wants to play. He wants to play in years. That's what the report said. So, contract value for Chris Paul. It depends on what he's looking for financially, and what's his main goal here. Does he want to contend, or does he want to get it back? Personally, I think at this point, CP3's career, gotta go contend, bro. Can we see CP3 and LeBron? Is it possible?
God, oh man, that whole LeBron.
We gotta get to that too eventually. Like that whole LeBron. Yeah, we'll get to that too, bro. I would love to see.
Oh my god.
Me personally, I would pick CP3 to go somewhere to contend. The teams that really need a good PG I don't know what the Clippers situation is. We can look there. They got Kawhi and PG. Always LeBron, AD, the Lakers. I don't know what Philly's doing with Harden. Harden is torn apparently, but depending on what they do with Harden. CP3, Embiid, maybe. I mean, you got the Bucks. You got
Yo.
I don't know, man. There's so many different options, but what do you think is the best fit for CP3, man?
Well, shoot, this is crazy, but I just wanted to also mention this point that Shams Charania said on Twitter that the Suns and Chris Paul are exploring multiple options, including the trade, stretching his contract, or waiving and re-signing him in free agency. Phoenix is expected to discuss trades ahead of Paul's June 28th contract date. So, with that in mind, it's kind of weird because I'm like, all right, well, is this? Are they saying like? I'm kind of like, all right, confused on what Phoenix is wanting to do because I'm like, are they parting ways, or are they wanting to restructure?
Based on what I saw, he was getting waived. Like they told him, hey, yo, you're getting waived. You're going to be a free agent. But it's like you said, so I guess that was
well, let me.
I don't know. It's conflicting reports then.
Sham
said that. Chris Haynes said that. Chris Haynes is reliable too. Chris Haynes is the one that said,
sure.
"Yeah, we're gonna waive you." Like you said, Sham said that.
I know he said that, but Chris Haynes said before that
true. Chris
was being waived. So I'm like, I don't know. Oh, we got the we got the Celtics as a destination in the chat here.
Oh, yo, I like that. I like that. Yo, that's honestly perfect. I would love to see him with the Suns with the Celtics too. Yeah, okay. So multiple people are saying he has not been waived. Chris Haynes need to come back out and say, hey, he has not been waived or whatever. But based on what I've seen here, it's official. He is not waived, but that is an option. I would look at more what Sham said, like you said. But either way, the fact that CP3 is even available though.
They got waived, and it's like they made this whole
like he's not waived. He's not waived yet.
Well,
but say you don't make any options. Personally, I think the best option is to waive him. I mean, because it's hard to think what team would actually give up assets for CP3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's older in age.
Yeah.
And his contract, may not exactly match up financially. I personally would like to see him on the market and having him choose. And if he had the ability to choose, do like the Celtics as an option, that was good. That's exactly what they need. We've been talking about how they need a point guard.
Yeah.
And what better point guard is there than CP3, man?
I mean, ideally, like the Celtics getting a
think about that.
Like CP would be nice, but the whole Celtics situation is kind of tough with Jaylen Brown.
True.
Contract, Tatum in a couple years.
But say they want to trade anyway. You know what I'm saying? That could solve some stuff. Like Jaylen Brown, CP3. Maybe someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to resolve that. Because there was some issues with that. The latest report was saying like they want to keep Jaylen Brown, but I don't know. He's been trading over so much.
Difficult for that team.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That could work trade wise. The Celtics could do it trade wise. And they're deep enough to like, okay, that could work.
The only thing about like CP, even as a free agent, obviously he's a very high value, top tier free agent if he goes. I think partially of why he's getting waived is because age. Obviously, you have to throw that in there. And then injury status, like he was out in this most recent stretch of the playoffs due to injury. And what's his role gonna be? Because he's getting to a point in his career where he's an older guy. He's not exactly pushing the pace, and his numbers kind of dipped a little bit. And I'm not trying to like blast CP, but I'm just being realistic because he's one of my favorite point guards. But I'm like, all right, well, what is the market like for him? And also, is he willing to accept a lesser role? Is he willing to even like, come off the bench? That's you got to look at it depending on where he goes, especially. What is that gonna look like? Because it has to be a fit for both sides, and I think he has to be willing to. I'm pretty sure like CP's like bought in. He wants to win a championship, so he's gonna like do what he needs to. But then the other side of it's like, all right, well, like the Lakers, I'm like, they don't need to age more. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Unless like I don't know, they don't need to age more. I with Bron, 80, and CP. AD's not even old. He's just injury prone. You know what I mean? Like he's not. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Yo, Jacob said a Blake and CP reunion in Boston. That would be crazy. That would be wild.
Loud City. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh shoot.
We'll see what CP3 goes. I like Boston. I see what you're saying about LA. That makes sense. That's just the inner fanboy in me. Always like wanting to see.
No,
CP3 was supposed to go there a long time ago with Kobe. But like
Commissioner Stern said, "Nah, nah, fam, we ain't rolling with that."
Exactly, but I would like to see that. But okay, that's one side with the Suns. But now they're looking to trade Aiden as well. But this all this CP3 stuff going on. We talked about that too. They're like, what are they gonna do with Aiden?
That was a dang. So yeah, that's why it's so crazy. We were just talking about that like a few days ago.
We were,
and now this news is coming out. Like what?
Exactly. This is true. This is another report. Like the CP3 news going on. They're also planning to explore trades for Aiden. Where could Aiden go? Yeah, ideally, it depends on who can give you the best trade package back. If we're talking about DeAndre Aiden, this is a former number 1 overall pick, so that does have some value. He gives you something on defense. He gives you some offense. He's not the best. Is he a top 10 center?
Aiden?
Would y'all put Aiden top 10 as a center? I don't know.
Let us know what y'all think. Obviously,
because value wise, I'm like, I don't hold Aiden to that high regard, to be honest. Because in today's game, you gotta look at like, okay, forwards and guards basically. He's in the top 10 forward? No way. Top 20, I don't know, maybe. I gotta think about it. Top 15, 20, maybe. I gotta think about it. We gotta talk about it.
Into the centers in the league right now.
Exactly, because you got Joel Embiid, Jokic. Those are the main two because they're always at the top tier. Is AD? How do you classify AD? You classify him as a forward or a center? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's a forward, but he's been playing more center for years. Right. So I'll put him at the center. We'll just say bigs. Like,
true, that's good. Bigs.
Kind of like we'll just say bigs because a lot of these guys are really like forwards, but it's small ball, so they're playing center.
Good point.
If you look at obviously Jokic, Embiid, Anthony Davis, Bam, Brook Lopez. I'm just naming like.
But you know,
yeah.
Just naming those that come to your mind. Like you got Miles Turner. You got the dude with Houston.
Miles Turner, yeah.
I was saying Opera singer.
Oh, no, not Christian Wood. The young kid, Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith too. That's true, but he's a forward. I was talking about Sengun, Opera.
Oh Sengun. Yeah, he's solid. I like him.
He's a solid center.
We haven't really.
Chet was hurt. But I believe he'll be great. We got to say that for another
We
topic, bro.
gotta
We got to say that for another
really
topic, bro.
dive into that for sure
We do,
because
but
it's
how
hard
you
to
put
think of
Aiden in
right
that?
now.
Because how you put Aiden in that, I don't know how you feel about that. But anyway, what team could really value Aiden and want him though? I don't know. What's a good fit for him? I can't really
Yeah,
think of anything right now. I sure can be an asset. I know first, I think we were talking about the Pacers, right?
yeah,
Pacers like originally wanted him, right? That could be something they explore. Me personally, if I can get Miles Turner's and change and somebody else, I'll make that trade. So then Miles Turner could be on a contender, which is something I think he'll be seeking at this point in his career. He's getting older in age. And I think it's a more complementary piece to what they're trying to do with the Suns in Phoenix. This is a center that can be in and out scorer. He's a good defender as well. Space the floor really well. That's the only thing about Aiden's game. He doesn't really space the floor as well compared to some of these other bigs, right? So, but he does. And some people question Aiden's, you know what I'm saying? Like his not aggressiveness. Yeah, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. Some people question his drive too. So, yeah. So that's the other thing that's coming out with that. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. You ready to get into this now? This craziness, bro. Because I remember when this first happened, we texted each other, bro. So like,
no.
All right, so this is how the story went. All right, what had happened was someone released a report saying Kyrie wanted LeBron to come to Dallas and play with him in Dallas, right? Then another report came out saying Kyrie really wants to be with the Mavericks. He wants to stay a Maverick. He's intending on resigning with the Mavericks. Yeah, man, it's
a dangerous can of worms when you're dealing with Mr. Irving. I'll just put it that way.
I have my own opinion about this stuff, but I'm excited to hear what you think about it, though.
Of course, as soon as this was published, Twitter, ESPN, they ran with it. I'm seeing LeBron, Kyrie, Luka, Mavericks graphic jerseys. I'm like, oh my god, bro. Do I think it could happen?
Oh, I left out really. One piece. I forgot. I left out one piece, bro. I forgot. When this story came out, another story came out along with it saying the Dallas Mavericks tried to trade for LeBron during the season. You remember this came out too. They tried to trade for him.
Oh, I didn't hear this part.
Yeah, but that makes no sense because LeBron couldn't even be traded last season. So that's weird. So to me, it's like a lot of fluff. But I want you to continue your point, but I forgot to say that part because that came out too. And then another source came out saying like a trade for LeBron is unrealistic. Then the Lakers come out saying, "Hey, we don't want Kyrie." So it's like there's a lot of stuff, bro. So you go ahead now. There's a lot of stuff.
Bro, as soon as Kyrie requested the trade in Brooklyn, it was like, all right, Kyrie to the Lakers, Kyrie to the Lakers. Before the summer started, Kyrie to the Lakers, Kyrie to the Lakers. So it was just kind of like, all right, he's probably going to end up maybe with LA. Like, I legit was like, all right, they're going to find a way because...
you remember he's going to the games, too, in the playoffs?
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. He was giving, like, a big energy of, all right, Kyrie to LA or reunion. You know what I mean? Like, that was the vibe. And for this to come out, it was like Kyrie wants the Mavericks to trade for LeBron. Knowing LeBron is the GM, the president,
everything,
executive here, and he can't be traded unless he like gives the say so. I'm pretty sure he has no trade clause, guarantee contract, whatever. Like it's hard to even mention LeBron and trade talks. Like, because then what do you do? Like,
it's not gonna be even trade, whatever you do. And let's entertain it for a little bit. Even if the Lakers do try to trade, whatever you get back is not going to be equal to LeBron's value at
Bro, you
all.
gotta get. If you don't get Luka, you failed the trade.
Exactly. It got to be Luka.
It's got. So it's just like, all right, now you're giving up your actual franchise player that you already paying out like hundreds of millions of dollars. So for and it's no disrespect, LeBron is still valuable going into year 21. I'm pretty sure he's not going to retire, guys. He's still very much that guy. Like, he's still top talent in the league, but I'm still like, all right, well, do you want to like salvage your future on that? Because even though he's still giving you 30 in year 20, what are you gonna do once he's like actually done in, let's just say, 3 years? Then what? Because you'll have to give up so much just to like entertain that trade. Draft assets, cash, probably 5 players. You know what I mean? Like, just to get him. Then you put yourself in a bad situation as far as like cap and building out the rest of the team just to get LeBron. But like, if you get, I don't know, I feel like that's the funny thing is that Kyrie's wanting the Mavericks to trade for LeBron, but if they trade for LeBron, like, they probably throw him in the trade. that's I'm like, it's hard to piece that together. I can't even like think like they got to give up a lot just to even entertain that.
Right.
If I'm the Lakers, there's no way I'm gonna give up LeBron for just 1-2 players and some picks. Mm-hmm. I'm getting the whole house.
Mm-hmm. Straight up. You know that Rudy Gobert trade?
Oh, bro, and yeah, that
Rudy Gobert can go for 5 first rounders. LeBron ain't go for 10, 20. Like, that's how you can't even do that. It's impossible to do that. So,
bro, everybody on the team is gone except Luka. It's just all you got on the roster is LeBron and Luka. Now you rebuild everything. That's what that is. You give up the whole team, give up the mascot, give up a couple ushers from the arena, give up some towel boys.
Mm-hmm. Get LeBron ownership stake.
The whole organization.
But
it's done. No.
But for real though, if I'm the Mavericks, I have to tread carefully. So, because what you did, you decided to trade some of these valuable pieces for Kyrie. When you get Kyrie, you lose so much that by the end of the season, you want to sit your players and you're out of the play entirely to try to keep your draft pick. Kyrie is now a free agent. How is this trade looking right now? Because you gave up some future assets for Kyrie. First of all, the Mavericks are heading to very dangerous territory. I wonder what the relationship with Luka is like. What does Luka want in this? How is a player that joined your team having so much say in the news right now? Isn't this Luka's franchise?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, it's giving me Slick Nets vibes again a little bit with this stuff. And that's bad because we already know how the Nets situation turned out.
Yeah.
But I'll be very careful on the Mavericks. I mean, yeah, Kyrie is valuable. Kyrie would add value to any team. I'm not saying no team sign Kyrie. But when I do sign him, I'll be very wary of like how long I sign him for. Considering the Kyrie's history, just saying.
Yeah, and it's no slight to him. He's a phenomenal talent, but when it comes to the organizational side of things, he hasn't had the best track record. And I feel like, yeah, it's Luka's team, obviously. And it's kind of like, all right, Luka has more pull because he's their guy. I think that's pretty much known. That's pretty much established. As good as Kyrie is, he's not looked at as their franchise guy like Luka is. And the fact that it's like coming out is because of the media. And I guess we're media, I guess, but still, you know what I mean? Like the reporting is focused on Kyrie because he's always got a good soundbite. He's always got like something going on, and it's Yeah, they know if I put this story out about Kyrie, if I put not even like it may not even be a story, it may be like, all right, Kyrie thinks this. Oh, Kyrie would like to trade for LeBron. And it's like, oh, Kyrie said this? Cool. Everybody's like gonna go crazy because Kyrie said this. Not really like I don't feel like he has that much like pull because he just got there like a couple months ago.
Right.
And
he doesn't.
He probably just like said it like, oh yeah, we should trade for LeBron or whatever. I don't know. Something, but still, it's just like, nah, I don't feel like they would even really be entertaining it unless Luka is like, okay, yeah, like if that's a possibility, sure.
Also,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, bro. And even so, say for instance, even dream scenario, say that this does happen. Kyrie does go to that Dallas. There's Kyrie, LeBron, and Luka. I don't think that's gonna work. The fit won't work. First of all, we know LeBron needs the ball in his hands. He's the best on ball. We've seen that time and time again. Luka is a great playmaker. It's gonna be a similar situation. Like Luka needs the ball in his hands too. So like at this stage of the career and where Luka's at, I can see Luka was like young, like a rookie or something. But Luka's trying to he's about to enter his prime. If he's not in his prime already, but Luka's only gonna get better. And this can kind of stunt the growth of Luka a little bit, in my opinion. And nowadays, I can argue that big threes don't work anymore. The big three era is done. The teams in the finals, at least on the Nuggets side, you have at least 2 all-star level players, and in one case, one's a superstar for sure, and depth around them. Heat, 2 all-star level players, one superstar, and Jimmy. Bam is an all-star level player, in my opinion. Yeah. Depth around them. Big threes don't work anymore. It crashed and burned with the Nets.
Yeah.
Like the recent ones that formed have crashed and burned bad. So I can make that argument. We can talk about that more in the future too, but that's not going to work. If you got to give up so much depth and you want to have Luka, Kyrie, and LeBron, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Especially considering how much older they are and the availability of Kyrie already. Like if he'll even be available to play. LeBron has seen more injuries in this career, unfortunately, but it's happened. It happened. It's the truth. And I can probably expect more injuries to come because this dude was about 20 plus seasons in. So of course he'll get hurt. Probably. All the mileage on his legs. But yeah, that's my thought about that. But the main point here I want to say about this whole little mess and rumors and stuff like this is all just smoke. This is just smoke. Kyrie wants to bag and wants to go to LA. You can't have your cake and eat it too, sir. If you want to go to LA, you gotta have to sign to a lower bag, bro. I think he's trying to implement some type of sign and trade situation or something. This is just all smoke. Kyrie, the only way LeBron and Kyrie play together again is in LA. This is all smoke and mirrors, y'all. Don't buy into the hype. There's no way LeBron's gonna go to Dallas. Have we ever seen this before with LeBron? Hey, I want you to join me where I'm at, LeBron. There's no the other way around. It's no LeBron, like this person wants to join LeBron. This is the first time I ever heard of someone else with the gall to say, hey, LeBron, I'm staying where I'm at. I'm gonna get my max contract. You come join me where I'm at. What sense does that make?
Yeah, that's not something you hear these days. I mean, the closest thing was, at least for LeBron, was going to Miami, and that was just kind of came out that he wanted to go there.
He wanted to go there. It's not like, hey,
D-Wade,
come here.
He asked D-Wade like, "Oh, can I come to Miami?" He's like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do." And then D-Wade found out like everybody else did, which is crazy. But yeah, that's not happening. LeBron is obviously has big aspirations in LA outside of basketball. Being a
Exactly.
billionaire.
Bronny's
And
about to go USC, bro.
Ronnie's going to USC.
So what sense does that make? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it
All
it
right.
it wouldn't really, and just that team. What is like you said, all three of those guys are kind of ball dominant, and obviously LeBron and Kyrie have done it together.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like even if you get those guys, like how do you build the rest of the team out?
Exactly.
Like I don't really feel like it would work. And yeah, Luka would probably not really. Of course, he can learn from LeBron and Kyrie, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It's not a good look, and it's kind of clunky because Luka and LeBron aren't really catch and shoot. They're more make plays.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie can obviously catch and shoot, but he also is an ISO make plays type of guy. It's a bad situation.
This doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want that to even be. Yeah, I don't like this. That's not a good scenario at all.
Right.
So we'll see where it goes, but yeah, that's kind of crazy.
All right. Did you see this thing about Dame Lillard? It was on a podcast called The Last Stand. I tell you, it was like all this stuff came out back to back, bro.
It was
right. So it was crazy. So, all right, I'll show you're excited about this. On the podcast. All right. To summarize, I wish we had a sound for you, but we don't. You can look it up. The podcast called The Last Stand. Dame was talking, and he was basically saying, depending on like the direction the teams takes, he's open to probably joining other teams. Because obviously Dame wants to compete and win a championship for Portland, and they have the assets to try to get people there in Portland. Like they have some good young pieces. They have a good they have a good pick in the draft this year. They can use these things to get more assets to compete. It depends on what the Trailblazers want to do. So, depending on what they do, Dame is open to joining some other teams. And one of the teams he mentioned was the Miami Heat. So,
yep.
Tell us how you feel about that. I would personally like to see that.
You know, I love Dame, man. I would be excited about that, honestly. Dame with Jimmy and Bam, and we keep dunking and our shooters and Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dog, that would be.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't mind trading for the Heat or the Nets. Those are two teams he named.
Bam is his dog. Mikal Bridges is his dog.
That's what he said. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, that would be a beautiful thing. I feel like Dame can definitely get with Heat culture for sure. I feel like he's a hard worker. Obviously, that's what Miami is about, and he would fit right in. Like another guy, and he can get his own shot. Like that type of like floor spacing. He can create for everybody else. He can make it easy for Jimmy. Bam in the pick and roll, pick and pop. Oof.
But you know how it is, man. In order to get them, you got to give up some.
That's true.
So I understand you want to keep Jimmy and Bam at all costs. That means some of these young pieces got to go. Gabe Vincent is a free agent. Also, Max Strus is a free agent. You do have Duncan Robinson on the payroll. That could be a trade asset, and Tyler Hero. I feel like it'll be probably those two, and maybe a pick or two.
Yeah.
For Dame, to be fair, a fair trade. But that's still wonders for what you guys can do, though. Especially you guys can probably try to re-sign Strus and Gabe Vincent at like a hometown discount. But yeah, you're most likely gonna depart with Robinson and Hero.
Some combination.
Yeah, some combination of that. How you feel about that? Is there one that you prefer to keep?
Well, I'm gonna plead the fifth for now because our
Okay.
team is in the finals,
Y'all are in the
and
finals.
I really like from 1 through 15, even our G League young guys that come up and go back down and everything. Like
Mhm.
I respect those guys. I
Okay.
like happy with what we've done. Obviously, this season up to this point. So I'm not gonna get into the. I just it. I couldn't. I wouldn't feel right getting into. All right, I would love to trade this guy, and he's like playing in the finals or something. So, after the finals, I'll be able to address that. But I get it. Like we'll have to definitely give up some pieces. But the key would be right. We got to keep Jimmy and Bam. That's the key. Um, Outside of that, yeah, we would be probably piecing together some guys for sure.
Mhm. Man, objectively looking at it though, I believe Hero is a more attractive piece. Just like that objectively, so it most likely be him. Just saying that though.
I respect that. I respect that. Tyler's a good player, so
Yep.
you gotta give
Uh,
up.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the other story you're talking about? I just looked it up to see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shoot, that's what's going on.
yeah. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but
It's,
there is.
it seems this screenshots. What you talking about?
I don't know. I really just don't want it to be true.
And if
I
it's
know.
true, so what?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the story we're alluding to is about Zion Williamson. If you haven't heard, if you haven't seen it on some social media platform, Zion recently announced that he's having his first child, which is, that's a good thing. The downside of it is that it appears, at least I don't know if this is true. I'm not trying to put out that is, accuracy to it, but there are screenshots, as Q said, and stuff like that, that he, how do I say this, Q? Like, he was also dating someone who's not the mother of his soon, like, to be born child, who's that works in the adult industry, and people just ran kind of wild with it. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I'm just like, dang, Zion, we just want you to hoop. we didn't need to know about this, if this is true or not. I really just didn't want this to be a thing. I didn't want it to be true. But it's looking like it may be some issues there that I'm like,
okay. So I was able to look into this some more. Okay, never mind. Yo, it's a lot of mess.
It's a lot.
Pray for Zion Williamson.
I hope this is yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot of mess.
It's just a lot.
A lot of mess, bro. If he is a girl dad, congratulations. But people are dragging him on social media. I just looked and see what was going on. It's a lot of mess. But
it's a lot.
And it's a lot of mess though. I don't even want to. It's a lot of mess.
Yeah, Zion, man, be safe. Take care of business. Get healthy.
Got the bag
get
too,
on the court,
so
bro.
I don't know. That's the other part of it.
Get on the court. We can avoid these situations because these are not the situations we want to hear as a primetime NBA player that you
tough.
are. We didn't need to hear this one, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. One more thing. This came out too. This is the last news that came out.
It's crazy, bro.
This involves Ja Morant again.
Oh no! Oh, I forgot about.
Yes, I know, right? It's just so much has happened, man. The past 24 to
Oh,
48
this is
hours.
probably the most ridiculous part of
This
the
one
news.
is. All right,
Oh,
so this is a rumor, by the way.
oh
The past couple of segments we just talked about were mostly rumors. All right, y'all.
yeah.
NBA out the court rumors though.
We don't know if
That could just have impact on the court. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
The thing with Ja, someone came out. This is on the rumor report for the Breakfast Club, so I'm already weary of the source. That's just me. But since it was on the national media, I feel like we have to address it. So like, the rumor was that the gun that Ja had was a toy gun that a relative had that was passed up to him. Two issues with that. One, if it was a toy gun, why not say that in the first place when it first came out and he put that long apology up, right? That's issue number one. Issue number two, even if it is a toy gun, why are you playing with a toy gun, first of all? And that's not the main point. The main point was the image that you're putting out there went against the values of the company that you work for. Since you recently showed a gun on Twitter or whatever, and you're doing the same thing, but it's a toy gun, although it's not a real gun, the implications are the same. Like the people are subjected to the thoughts and the message. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. And people are using all types of examples that we've seen in real life, unfortunately, where police think it's a gun, but it's like a brush or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like, some people went to those extremes. I only have to go there because those are true. That's true. But the main thing is the message that it portrays. Whether guns, whether or not you're waving it in the public space. And if it is a toy gun, it's a realistic looking toy gun. That's my thoughts on it. And why come out with this now? If you're whoever in this camp, if this is true, whoever it came from, you're saying this now during NBA Finals. All attention is on it now because there's not much news in between games, so you know they're gonna talk about it. And it's hard to hide it. So I just hate that.
What though?
It's a bad judgment call, bro. That's what I think.
Still gonna get those 30 games suspended.
It could be more, depending on what it is.
Or more.
It's about if it was a toy gun, you'll still be suspended.
That's
true. That's a good point.
They already have said he's still gonna get suspended. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And as a, I don't know. Maybe this is too harsh, but as a grown man, why do you have a toy gun? Let alone you, Ja Morant, having a gun. Why do you have a gun in the presence of any other person when you just got in trouble for it literally months ago, like a couple of months ago, if that?
Yeah, it was like 2 months ago. It was crazy.
Bro, 2 months and you got in trouble for the same thing?
Right. And if it was a toy gun, why
are you
reaction of the dude? Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, why is it coming out now? Like this, that's a very poor effort to kind of like, oh, it was a toy gun. Like, still, if it would have been different. Like you said, we've unfortunately seen cases where people have some other item or a child has a BB gun or something like that, and police have mistakenly thought that it was a real gun or something like that, and people have like lost their lives. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But you just got in trouble for this exact thing with the NBA, not even like illegal stuff, but you can't do that under your contract. And then you do it again, and then you come out and say it's a toy gun. But either way, toy gun, it looks like a gun. And why did you say that? Why would you say that? It was a toy gun. Well, it still represents the gun, still represents the same thing that we don't want to be represented. it makes no sense. And I'm like, yo, if I assume that was either him or his camp that said that. I hope that his representation as a lawyer is not putting that out, because I'm like, that was the brightest move for y'all to make in this situation. Oh, it was a toy gun. Right, guys. Okay. That's that's brilliant. That's a great defense to lessen his this blow of what he's portraying. Yeah, it made no sense to me. I was just like, why would you even say anything at this point? You just gotta take what you get. I don't get it. What do y'all think about this gun thing, man? I toy gun. Does it matter? Not to me. What do y'all think?
Either way, yeah, he's still getting in trouble with this stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what it's gonna be now for real after the finals are over.
Yeah.
Because again, the expectation is that it's gonna be at least 25 or 30 games to potentially the whole season. So we'll see.
That sucks.
Man, I'm surprised we did it, but we got through all the news and some of the drama and mess that's going on right now.
NBA never stops, bro.
But as far as some of the stuff we talked about, encourage y'all look that up on your own, because I can't.
Do your research.
I just saw some more stuff about the Zion stuff, bro. It's a lot, bro. It's funny, bro. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
it is entertainment. To some,
because apparently Stephen A. talked about it too. I ain't hear what he said yet. I hope it doesn't make the national media waves good, but if it does, we may have to readdress it again.
Bro, it's gotten to Stephen A. Smith. It's I can see First Take tomorrow being not even talking about the game, Zion, and never mind.
I hope they don't. I kind of hope these shows don't do it, but if it
doesn't die down like by between now and the morning, I'm like 90% sure that this is going to be on TV at some point.
Dang.
Somewhere.
That's tough if it does, though.
It's crazy. I hope not, because that's kind of.
It's not even basketball.
It's not basketball, and I don't. You can still speculate. I just don't know what all is true, and I don't know. But hey, man, Zion, get healthy, man. Get on the court. Get on the court.
Get healthy.
Please.
Get the positive vibes going.
For sure.
You watch people around you.
Yeah.
Go hoop. That's the only advice I can get.
Go hoop, bro. Get healthy. Go hoop. Please. Oh.
Yep. Well, man, we got one day off. We'll be back on Friday, man. Friday night. After Game 4. We'll see. Game 4 could tell the tale for everything, man.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah. It's going to be a big one. We see the adjustments that he make will work. We'll see the Nuggets can keep it rolling. Yeah, my main concern with the Nuggets was the fatigue factor. And for the Heat, if you have anybody else step up, you can win. Like anybody. The fact that nobody else from the others stepped up, really. That's what really hurt the Heat tonight. So,
yeah.
And we are top of defense and all that stuff. So, all right. This has been the Swish Masters Podcast. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We'll be back after Game 4. All right. Peace from me.
See y'all Friday night. Gang gang.